Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Alex Gunz, fund manager at Heptagon Capital, to discuss key themes for 2024 and the intersection of future trends. Alex, it's great to see you as always. Welcome back to Trade Talks.
Thanks so much for having me on the show, Jill.
You got it. And AI and ChatGPT dominated headlines in 2023, as well as climate conditions and treatment for obesity. Looking ahead, do you think these trends will continue to overlap and intersect?
Absolutely, Jill. We have 100% conviction in this thesis. Really, our starting point and how we look at the world is as follows. It's all about the efficient allocation of scarce resource. And we think technology is a real enabler in this respect. AI is going to turbocharge almost every single industry. If we just take obesity as one example, think about it like this. The rate at which drug discovery can occur will be significantly faster, just the speed at which large language models can go through the data. These models can work 24 hours a day. And some of the data we've read would suggest that 30% of all new drug discovery by 2030 will be AI generated.
From an investment perspective, what if generative AI becomes so ubiquitous that it becomes commoditized? How do you see this ecosystem evolving?
I think it's really important to take a step back when you think about AI. I would say, number one, progress is not going to be linear. Number two, many of the applications that we're going to use AI for, we cannot probably even conceive of today. All of that said, we think when you go into 2024, you're going to see increasing levels of deployment. We've really gone from a theorizing stage to a practical stage. And when we try and sift through who could be the winners in this respect, we think that the large incumbents are probably in a stronger position than some of the emerging startups.
And Alex, how does AI intersect with the treatment of obesity and food innovation?
I think the best way to frame this discussion, Jill, would be as follows. If the forecasts are right about AI and it grows at the same rate of software, then AI will be 1% of US GDP by 2030. If we think about the obesity opportunity, given the unfortunate number of people who suffer from obesity and who are overweight, this market opportunity could be about 10 times that size by 2030. So we think a lot of the smart dollars will actually be going and be focused really on this idea of obesity and drug development in particular, but also the other side of the coin, as you referenced, is food innovation. And we think behavioral choices do matter. We would expect AI also to spur potentially more creative solutions to dealing with food as well.
Where would you find the investment opportunities in that space?
Our key focus, and where we've been very successful this year, has been on the listed drug development makers. As many people may know, the market is really a broad duopoly between Novo Nordisk, based in Denmark, and Eli Lilly, based in the US. We are seeing some new entrants come into the market, but we really think that given the importance of this dynamic and how crucial healthcare is, that a lot of the value will continue to accrue to the largest players.
And what are the relevant themes you're watching when it comes to alternative energy? This is a space you and I have discussed throughout 2023.
Yeah, alternative energy remains very much top of the agenda. And I think the key statistic really to share with all the listeners is that the world uses or is reliant on about 80% today conventional fossil fuels. So think about it like this. The runway ahead for alternative energy is still very, very significant. So expect more wind, more solar in 2024. We think that by 2025, based on what we've read, these sources or alternative energy will be the biggest new area for electricity generation. Two other quick things to call out. Number one, we'd like to see a bit more progress on permitting, so faster deployments on the part of utilities and on governments. And number two, I think it's really crucial that everyone watches for shortages in the supply chain. There are some very critical minerals, lithium, cobalt, nickel in particular, and making sure you have security of supply will really matter.
And finally, one area of corporate spend that continues to be robust is in cybersecurity. What trends are top of mind for 2024?
Yeah, we're very bullish about cybersecurity, and certainly a lot of the data we see would suggest this is an industry where you're going to be getting double-digit growth in 2024. And a lot of it really comes back to our initial thesis we had on the world and on data. And whilst we recognize that the amount of data that's being produced is only going in one direction, in other words, upwards and exponentially upwards, that data will not have any value unless it is secured. So that creates the opportunity within the cybersecurity space. And just as AI means that the threat environment will perhaps become more challenging, so intelligent companies, if they're deploying AI, will actually be able to deal with these threats more successfully too.
All right, Alex, we appreciate the insight as always. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thank you.